Every year, thousands of students travel to Delhi looking for resources to prepare for civil service exams. What if I tell you today that we at Imperial IS Academy have brought in experienced faculties from Sriram, Vajiram, Chanakya, Vision IS to name a few, and provide the same quality of education out here in Nagaland for your preparation. Fulfill your dream of becoming a civil servant today. Join Imperial IS Academy. Hi Nagaland, come on Lear. I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome back once again to another episode of the Alobo Naga show. Today I am super excited. I'm here with two of my friends. The first one is a fashion designer, and she works with the label under the label Bambi K, and she's trained at the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology, and she's known for her work in bridal wear. So I think almost all the brides in Nagaland wore her designs, and her clients have worn not just in Nagaland but US, Europe, and the northeastern states. And she works with sustainable and organic fabric and Naga indigenous waves, and has shown her collection here as well as outside Nagaland. And she also has a small home store called Windfall. It's in Dimapur, and she's a mother of 13-year-old teenage boy. And my next guest is Opang Jamir, my friend, a Naga Fashion Model, and everybody who knows about fashion knows this guy, and sustainable fashion curator, brand ambassador of Liso beauty brand and Liamtra travel app. He's also assistant editor of the Northeast Window magazine. He's the winner of Mr. International India 2012. He is the first male model from Northeast to represent India at the 7th edition of Mr. International 2012 held at Bangkok, Thailand. He is also the first male model from Nagaland to walk at India's biggest Lakme Fashion Week in 2014. He has worked closely as a fashion muse for ace designer like Asst, Kazingmai, Taba, Aka, Nabam, etc. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome my friend Bambi Kevichusa and Opang Jamir. Hi.
Thank you.
I think that was the longest, very long introduction. Guys, it's been so long, and yeah, how's life? We didn't catch up for so long. Maybe we can start with my beautiful friend. Yeah,
it's good. I'm having sort of little break.
Achha.
Not little break, but the rush of the wedding season
the wedding
is a little over.
Off and on,
so we still have dresses, but February, not many Nagas get married in February. I mean, now we're in March, but I had a bit of rest. So
okay. What about you, my friend?
Well, I was quite busy with the classes, the grooming classes.
Yeah.
Because I'm back to teaching again.
Oh, by the way, before you go, congratulations, your student won Miss Nagaland, right?
Yes, 2021 last year.
Wow.
So it was like, I just wanted to give back to the society that our society has really, encouraged and inspired me to be who I am today. And I just wanted to give back in a small way. That is my grooming classes.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, last year, November and December batch, they were very successful students, like Miss Nagaland 2021, the second runners-up as well, Miss Nagaland, and Mr. Dimapur first and second runners-up.
Wow, if anybody wants to win beauty pageant, you should go to this man.
Thank you.
Congratulations, we're really proud of you, yeah?
Thank you.
Yes, and would you like to say something about your grooming, people who wants to join your school?
Since looking at the aspiration of our younger generation, the younger, the Gen Z that we say.
Yeah, Gen Z.
So we need to groom ourselves a lot before we show up our application in the beauty pageant that we are interested with. Since you can see all the top 5 contenders at any pageant. It will be like Latin America or the Philippines. Why? Because from a very young age, the children are being, sent to grooming school by the children, by the parents. Sorry. So it's just amazing to groom young boys and girls, polish them, mentor them, and then show the right way so that they can be inspiration for the younger ones again.
Wow. So speaking of inspiration and career, yes, you guys, a fashion designer, a mother, and that's also a big job, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And a model. Now, what do I say? Groomer? Okay.
I would rather say like a mentor.
Mentor, yeah.
Yes.
So you are doing something that is very odd for Nagas. Every Naga parents wants their children to be a doctor, engineer, government job, when did you decide that you want to be this, Or if there's any young guys or, young Gen Z who wants to choose a career, what advice would you like to give them, because the pressure, society pressure is still there. They want the parents want them to be a doctor or engineer, but then there are young kids who are now, looking for calling, they're searching for calling. So would you like to see something on that, or any advice, and maybe from your experience you can share?
I think if anything, there are two things. One is to the parents. I feel that because we live only once, and I believe that parents, of course parents should be in a position to give guidance to their children, but I think it's, I'm saying it very strongly, but I think it's unfair to put the pressure on children to follow or to take up a profession which their parents want, and not allowing the kids to follow their heart or to follow a profession which involves using their gifts and their talents, So, you and three of us, actually, we are very fortunate that we had the courage, I think, and the encouragement also to follow our calling, in that sense, to follow, to take up a profession which we are gifted in. Yeah. And so number one, just to tell the parents that we really have to, although we need to give guidance, but to encourage our children to follow their heart. And to the kids, to be courageous to follow their heart. I keep on saying this, and I wish I could say more, but for children, or for the young people, to take up professions where they're doing what they're good at and doing what they love. Not doing something that, just for the sake of earning money or just for the sake of security, because life is too short.
Yeah.
We live only once.
Amen.
Yeah.
What about you? To be honest, we have seen female model, but male model we haven't seen much. So what made you take up this step?
I excuse me. I have a very interesting story how I chose this path. And I was inspired by my sister.
Wow.
My elder sister. The kind of process she have taken up. Like typical Naga parents wants, their children to just study books. So I want to take back to 2007. We were kept in a rented house in Mokokchung.
Sure.
And my elder sister was, she just flew back from Bangalore, and then she was just staying home, and she was doing nothing. So I thought of, I came across an application for Miss Mokokchung, 2007. And I have younger brothers and sisters who goes to the neighbor's place to watch television that time. And my parents were like the typical Naga, they don't want to buy the television set because it annoys them. And parents, our Naga typical parents have this fondo, budase na. It's something very funny, but then just for buying the television set, I encouraged my sister to enter the Miss Mokokchung pageant.
Wow.
And just for the purpose, she went and she packed the first runner-up. And through that prize money, we bought the television.
Wow.
And
what a story.
that evening, when I was witnessing the grand finale, I witnessed there were male models, female models walking the ramp.
Acha.
And I just asked them, how were you paid for doing that? And one of the male models said, like, yes, I was paid 500
That's
rupees.
2007.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he said 500, and I was in class 10 that time. So I thought after finishing my HSLC exam, I will definitely give a shot.
Excellent.
So the first thing was I have to create a portfolio. You know, to become a male model or a female model, we need to have portfolio.
Yes, yes.
So in order to do that, I don't have any photographer's friend, but luckily my sister was going for campaign, like doing social charity work at various places, at hospitals, the sub jail. So I happened to come across Miss Naro. She was part-time journalist for Eastern Mirror, and also she was teaching at Im Sidamjan Higher Secondary School at Bangkok. So I asked for Miss Naro's help to create my portfolio.
Wow. And
she clicked 200 pictures. Out of that, there was just 6 to 7 good pictures to be sent to the casting, agency.
Wow.
And that's how I got the first break on 2008, November 8. I walked the first ramp. And the following year, the lady sitting here, Bambi, I think you will remember, I was the
hornbill one.
Mr. Spunk, 2008.
You were there in Spunk?
Mr.
I know
Spunk,
Spunk.
2008. Yeah.
Really?
I was 16.
We are ancient people.
Wow.
So I was 16 years old, studying at class 11. My principal, Yu Tsung sir, he was so kind. He used to grant me like 20 days or 15 days of leave. And attendance was quite, seen, overlooked. And so like our principal was very generous, and he knew that I will become someone in this industry.
Wow.
So it's all because of the good teachers that I am here today.
Wow.
And
Great.
Bambi was the judge. I was the top 5 finalist, and I also got a subtitle, Mr. Congeniality.
Wow.
And from there on, there was no turning back.
Wow.
And yeah.
So proud of you. Yeah. Big shout out to Miss Naro for the first, for the shoot.
Shoot, yeah.
And to your principal, if you're watching this, thank you so much. And yeah, we'll talk about the modeling thing, but let's come back again to fashion again. I think you were I don't want to make you feel so old. But
Yeah, but I am.
Maybe the first to study fashion among Nagas, yeah?
I think so.
The Barjangna Fashion Prado.
Oh, there was Kax.
Acha.
I think she was the first. Maybe Aro.
Acha.
Maybe, yeah.
So
but one of the first.
Your parents were supportive, right, from the beginning?
My parents had a condition. They
Acha.
wanted me to graduate.
Acha.
So that pressure is there, So I did that.
Acha.
And then I took on a very different route altogether. I went off to YWAM,
Blood and fire.
Yeah. and then it was after a long time that I came back to.
Acha.
It's a long story, but
Acha.
I think, yeah. So
Okay. Yeah, for audience, if you're all like me, and you know those songs like "Don't You Cry, My Little Child," "Blood and Fire," she was there in that band. Okay.
She was the keyboard.
Yeah, we're from dinosaur age. Okay, so moving ahead. So let's talk about fashion as a career in Nagaland. Do you think we still have long way to go, or now we have already arrived, or and then if I want to be a fashion designer, or if anybody wants to be a designer, do they need to study? Do they need to go to NIFT or any fashion or institute? Is it important? Or
For me, one can be an artist without really going to an art school.
Yeah.
That's there, But I think for me, I would advise getting an education.
Acha, okay.
Because certain things, it's like once you get an education, it's shortcut. As in, you know how to cut. You know how a fabric would be. You know, that is already there. So you're not doing things by trial and error, you know, to a great extent. So I would advise getting an education. But even without an education, if you're a very talented person, you can still succeed, I feel, you know. Yeah, and what was the other
The
question?
careers in the fashion, right now,
Yes.
I mean, is it
You know,
like,
times have changed so much because about, let's say, about 8 years ago, it wasn't, our people were not so forthcoming to wear clothes that were designed by Nagas, you know, 8, 9 years ago. But suddenly things changed. And I don't know how it changed, but it's good, you know. So I see that there are many young designers who are coming up, who are making clothes and who are making a living.
Yeah.
So I think now it's changed, and it's changed for the better.
Glad to
So
hear
I'm very happy, even though it's still difficult, I think, for most designers. Most
my
of
favorite
us.
designer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I just go to 2 designers now, like Lingbini and then Bambi. They're my favorites. So yeah.
Thank you.
And then would you like to add something on that?
Yes,
Like,
adding on that, I think the career, as of now, we don't have a structured system where we have the models or the designers come together under one umbrella and work in a habitat, like an ecosystem. So I think for that, I think we need like-minded and stakeholders to come in, and also sponsors, companies to rope in. Because when I talk about a career like Nagaland, dito ikut nai do.
True.
Because for me, I don't model here. I have to travel to various cities in India, like
Other states.
Yes, other states, and working with various show directors. And we travel for weekends, like from one city to another city.
True.
So Nagaland like we need to have a better solution, that is to instill ourselves with vocal for local.
Yeah. True.
Because today I'm wearing, this is Bambi.
Wow.
This is from Hillsman.
Oh yeah, Hillsman.
And this is from Kaka Sumi.
Wow, Kaka.
And
Yeah.
this is Asa Kazingme.
So
Oh,
sweet.
whole Naga.
A whole Naga. I've brought a whole Naga.
And this is from
I'm sorry.
your innerwear.
Oh,
So just kidding. Just kidding. Go ahead.
I wish it was Naga designer.
Yeah, I'll
One
design
day,
for
one
you.
day. Maybe you should get into that.
I should get into that.
Yes. So I think when I talk about careers, we don't have a system built. So for doing that, in order to achieve it, we need to have kind of an umbrella where we all get together.
Yeah, true.
Studios needs to be there.
True. I totally agree with that. We need to come together, make a support system, you know.
Absolutely.
Because I can't do on my own, you can't do on your own.
Definitely.
You know, designer needs a model example, model needs a designer, and an artist needs a designer.
Yeah.
We all grow like that, entrepreneurs, you know, we can come to needs an artist to promote the brands, you know. So we should build this system.
Absolutely.
Because we always, as I said, I keep repeating this, we always blame the government, we always wait on the government. Yes, government has their own role to play, but then we can also create our own ecosystem, you know, like where we support each other.
Absolutely.
And I think we can grow like that. I feel like that.
Adding on that, designer is the backbone.
True.
Backbone of the fashion industry.
True,
Without
yeah.
this designer, today I won't be sitting here as a model.
Yeah.
Because of her only, she can, be the master of the instruments. Can you imagine, like, she can hire so many people under her wing. And also she can employ so many people. So let's stick to the empowering of our designers.
Yeah.
Because when we empower our designers, we are going to create thousands and millions of jobs.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
as we all know that, these designers, the artisans, the handicraft, as Mahatma Gandhi said, like, we need to ponder on our action. Because India is, a country which employs 17 million village handicrafts, importers, or artisans, or designers. you know, and we need to create this habitat, because when we talk about career as a choice, like we don't have that, you know, connectivity, so we are being lost.
Yeah.
Aspiring ones will come and they will just forget it as fashion to be a, you know, a job. For me, I was very lucky to have walked across many people. You know, this road was so difficult, but quite lucky to have worked with few people, and then here I am today. But then I would still want a kind of like a structured system where the stakeholders, or I'm just repeating again, but designers to come in and then create a studios.
Awesome. I mean, if I'm in a judging panel, I'll crown you Mr. Universe right now. You speak so well, man. No wonder he won
and
Miss
to
Universe.
add to, you know, he is someone that really, you know, Opang, you hung in there.
Yeah.
You know, he's gone through the
Yes,
struggles.
we'll talk about that.
Before,
You never
just
give
without
up, and we
giving
love
up,
you for
really,
that,
you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, now let's move ahead to another thing. Like, if somebody wants to be a model, okay, let's talk about male model today, because female we see, I mean, we have seen successful ones also.
Yes.
But we haven't seen much, to be honest, male model besides you, with due respect. So if somebody wants to enter modeling, you know, or to become a model, what tips would you give them, you know?
First, you know, modeling is a big, you know, chamber of opportunity. There is high fashion model, there is e-commerce model, there is a print model, there is a, you know, creative model, there is body model. So you have to know your calling. At first, initially, I don't know what I was up to, but with this height that I have, I may be the shortest when comparing to the international model, but I still get the opportunity to work for high fashion. And also for the print model or catalog model or e-commerce model, you have to know your, you know, height first. Height matters.
Okay.
And also your approach to the clients, because when you go to see anyone, you cannot go with a grumpy face. You have to go with an aura, the attitude, the personality. So that works. I want to give the tips: personality and attitude, and also have a good portfolio and Polaroids and video.
Okay.
Because I happen to work for the scouting for Viva Model Management in Delhi for 6 months, and I used to scout models from Eastern Europe, Ukraine, the crisis that is going on. So sorry for them. But I have lots of Ukrainian models coming into India, Romanian, or from Serbia, Montenegro, etc. So what I check is their height first and their body type, because we don't want to see them with high fashion clothing. We just want to see the normal physique, so that we judge from there as a scholar. So I used to have the web audition, and it was very difficult. It's burning also, because there's so many talented, beautiful people coming in for this walk-in. But first thing first, we just go for the Polaroid picture. Portfolio is like the secondary. The primary is the Polaroids. So the Polaroids picture decides at the end. And that's how we select the model, and to be relevant also in the market, because sometimes the faces the market demands in a different way. So if your face is demanding in the market, definitely why not, you will work in the industry.
Wow. And what about you? I mean, one tips to somebody who wants to be a designer, you know, what step would you tell them to do first, you know?
First, there's so much. But first of all, it's not easy. I want to say that. Because I think many young people, including me, you know, when I was younger, we think that a designer is just like sketching beautiful clothes and going up on stage and looking glamorous and making people look glamorous. Of course, that's a part of being a designer. But the work is mainly off the stage, you know? So I would say be prepared for the hard work. And one of the things I've heard is that a lot of students do join fashion design courses, even our people here in Nagaland, but many cannot finish it. So because it's tough, so be prepared for the hard work. And number two is, if your interest is in fashion, then by all means do it. But don't go in because it's in trend, you know?
Yeah.
Because you could be better in something else, you know? So those two, I think.
Okay.
I hope I have covered.
Yeah, when you say in trend, I mean, we have this tendency to copy or follow,
Absolutely.
you know.
And it is not correct.
Yeah. When someone is doing good, we think that, oh, I can also do it, you know. Yeah, why not? But then you have to see, coming back to the first question about coiling and your passion, your talent, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. With this, we'll go to a break and we'll come back. And yeah, the conversation is so interesting today. We'll continue that. So don't go away. We'll be back after this break.
Hello Nagaland, I am coming with my team United Sikkim Football Club to play an exhibition match with Sumi 11 at Surhoto under SGSA, and on the 11th of March we are playing another match with Wasa 11 in Western Sumi Sports Association DDSC Stadium Dimapur. I would also like to thank and give my best wishes to Musica team and Alobo Naga for hosting this event. This entire tour is a friendly match and also an exchange program for sports, basically to promote football, grassroots football, and encourage footballers in Nagaland. So I'm looking forward to this, and I hope it'll be a great tour and a wonderful match. See you guys soon in Dimapur.
Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're shooting at a clinical spa and in conversation with my gorgeous friend Bambi and my handsome friend Opang. I have to put the gorgeous and handsome. Okay, speaking of handsome and gorgeous, I want to talk about beauty outward, you know. How important it is for us to maintain that, you know. And like some people make fun also, you know, and then we also talk about, oh, we spend so much money, you know, all the stuff. But how important it is to maintain and take care of yourself, is it, you know?
Yeah, I think I'll start. For me, I dress up not for myself, not for others, but for myself. Because for me, it affects my confidence, my motivation. So even on a Sunday, you would see me dressed up, even if I'm at home.
Okay.
And I guess also because we are in an industry where we need to look good.
Yeah.
I mean, I am not so much on stage. I'm more the background, but I dress up people. I make them look good. But if I don't look after myself and I don't look good, then people may not want to, you know. I said, I don't think we trust this, you know, haggard-looking whatever. But so I think that because we are in an industry where image is important, so it is important for us to look good or to try our best to look the best that we can.
But again, the one scary thing about is like the social media and the filters and young people, they show the world what they are not. And they're so confident with that fake one at the moment. They know, to be honest, this is reality. Even once we use filter, we know that this is not us, but then and then when we see the reality, they go in depression also sometimes, you know. There are, you know, that accepting one, you know, you should be accepting yourself, and everyone's beautiful, you know.
Yeah, true.
So I also want to, you know, stress on that. And speaking of outward beauty, let's talk about clinical spa, where we are right now. They're giving a lot of services, which, in fact, we don't get anywhere. Like the same services we're getting in US, now it's available in Nagaland, you know. I think you have experience here. So
Yes,
would you like to say something about clinical spa?
I come here quite often.
Okay.
And Dr. Kauka is, you know, my skin doctor.
Sure.
So I do come here very often, and I have sent my clients, my brides, just last week also I sent 2 of my brides here for their skin and acne and things like that, because like you said, it's the services that we get here are the services that are that people are giving in Hollywood or you know.
True.
So things like that. I mean, so we're getting it here.
Yeah.
So why not?
See, for those who don't know, I think you're not aware of this, right? Much, but the technology they're using in clinical spa, like, you know, radio frequency, hair reduction and all. And then best interesting thing is like non-surgical eyelid correction. You don't need to go surgery. That non-surgically, they have a machine that do it, you know. Even non-surgical fat reduction. I tried, you know. They have a machine, they use, I think, radio frequency and all the stuff, you know. And then I think they call it 3D lipo. It's a machine, okay, the device. So, like I heard, like in outside world, if a girls, they want to go for, you know, party and that the dress don't fit, they go and do it. And then I've seen it in just one sitting. I think that, you know, the fats went down. So and then I checked about it, and there's no side effect and all. So it's very interesting that we're getting all this machine, you know. They have like a Venus Viva 3D lipo, that's what I used, and then silk peel derma lymph fusion, and then plexer. So these machines, I heard that even in India they're very less, you know, even in big cities also. So we're getting this, you know, in Nagaland. So I think. Do you think it's okay to, you know, for this to use this thing?
Why
right?
not?
Like,
If
for outer
it,
beauty.
you know, why not? I feel that even though we're living in an age where, you know, filters and all that are in the norm, but as individuals, if we can do anything to make ourselves look better, for me, I fully endorse that.
Okay.
You know, be it whatever treatment you feel that works for you as a doctor or a dermatologist would prescribe for you. Why not? Because I know that like there are young people or even old people who have like, let's say, acne, and it does affect our self-confidence. You can't say, you know, I can't be full of pimples and feel, you know, it does. So why not if it works?
True.
Then why
It used to affect me badly, you know, like whenever I go up on the stage, I'm always like, it started affecting my singing also, the acne problem when I was going through that, you know. Outward beauty. Now let's talk about inner beauty. How important it is to maintain inner beauty also, you know. Would you like to see?
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, totally. Like, it's like, if outward beauty, I mean, I don't want to sound cliche, but if outer beauty is 100%, inner beauty really is 200%.
Wow.
You know, like we work in an industry where we have worked with, you know, models, people who look really good. But I find that even with models, if a model doesn't have a personality, then he or she just becomes a mannequin.
True.
You know, like a doll or a dummy. You know, and so the inner beauty, the confidence or the sense of self-worth and just sometimes and humility also. I think those things shine through, you know, and those things are more powerful. The positive energy that the person, you know, carries.
True.
And you know, a person may be really beautiful. I say this again and again, and maybe because I believe in it so much. A person can be so beautiful, but if a person is rude and horrible, then he or she starts looking ugly.
Yeah,
you know?
very true.
And to add to that also, oh yes, I want to say this because I really feel our young people should also know this. You know, people ask me, you know, how can a person look more beautiful? I've been asked that question, just my clients and all that as well. For me, really, and maybe I think you'll agree, it's smiling.
True.
When a person smiles, the person looks, way, way, way more attractive.
Yeah.
So if you want to look, yes.
From now on.
If you want to look better,
True, but
then
yeah,
smile more often.
Yeah.
Definitely. Adding to that, since I was trained before entering the Mr. International pageant,
okay.
I was here in Dimapur from 2010 to take up my advanced diploma in cabin service management for a year. So the first thing that our mentor talks about is to have a pleasing smile.
Smile, yeah. Okay.
Because you cannot be that kind of having the grumpy look. I'm using grumpy because I think that's relevant. So we need to have the smile from within. It shouldn't be fake again. If you are smiling from within, it just talks the inner beauty. And inner beauty is very important in our daily lives.
Yeah.
Because the way you talk with people, it should have a filter.
Yes.
You need to be so mindful of your language.
Sure.
Because if you have the practice of this slang or the trending that the Gen Z mostly does using it, I find a little awkward sometimes conversing with the younger ones. And it's kind of inner beauty just sparkles when you appreciate within yourself.
Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. Now, yeah, you just spoke about Mr. International, and then, see, you were the first male, I guess, yeah?
Yes.
Going out in international pageant
Yes.
and all. So, would you like to share something, your experience, please?
Definitely. So I was 20 years old with a big dream. I came to Dimapur in 2010, as I've said. My mom admitted me for the advanced diploma course for the 1 year. But I did a lot of odd jobs in Dimapur. Like I used to host a reality show as a, for 6 months, I guess. That was Highway Star.
Oh, you were
yeah,
hosting
I was
that?
hosting that,
Sure,
the reality show. And I also work as a door-to-door bookseller for Maxwell.
You did that?
Because I wanted to be independent,
Wow, so nice.
And I used to, again, sing in small gatherings just to get pocket money.
Yeah.
So I was quite, independent, and I wanted to just work for myself and be confident because I was not this person. I was very introvert, the very shy, lanky, dark, and always on the corner. I was not able to even have a normal conversation like today. I have stage fear and all this, drama that I've been experiencing as a child. I was always introvert, but I work for many odd jobs. I want to add one more that is for consultant field work. I was been appointed for 3 months. I mean, I work only for 3 months. So I wrote an article on the newspaper that we need to keep trying our best. It was for a daily newspaper, Nagaland Post.
Okay.
So my sir happened to read that very particular article, and he just asked me to leave the job because, Opang, I feel like I'm, clipping your wings. So you need to fly. And during the course of the fieldwork job, I have saved some money.
Sure.
So with that, I went for the audition because grooming classes in Delhi was quite expensive.
Wow.
They charged 72,000 that time. And to give that, I don't want to burden my parents. So I was saving, and internet was very limited during my time. So with all the struggles, like I went to, compete for Mr. International at Thailand. So during that time, I wasn't, prepared. Today we have clinical spa, but in Dimapur we had only 2 beauty salons. I still remember. One was Women's World and one was Clamazon. And I have never seen a hair blower in my life. and even for the hair curling or anything beautiful or sophisticated, I wasn't aware of it. So when I landed in Thailand, my roommate was Mr. Korea. So Mr. Korea was already an established model, actor in their K-drama. So he had all this equipments, and he will spend an hour in the washroom. You know, everything, our body has different, tendencies and the care that we need. So he will have to spend 1 hour, so I know what he's gonna be doing in the washroom. So after he comes out, I will just peep in and check out the washroom, and there's lots of containers, like chota containers for hair, for this, for this, everything. Whereas I was having the Lifebuoy sabun.
Wow.
And from India, I just took the Gatsby
That's
hair
it,
gel.
gel hair.
Yeah, that's it. And having that kind of exposure when I was 20, and getting that kind of grooming classes from the expertise was priceless.
Wow.
And so I learned a lot through the competition because we were mainly focusing on eradicating and inspiring the younger generation on HIV/AIDS awareness, because that is the Miss International advocacy. So we spent a lot of days going to the cancer hospitals, HIV/AIDS like affected children, and also doing photo shoot. So it was 25 days, and it just went by because every day was quite exciting, and to have that opportunity was a blessing for me.
Wow.
And during that time, our Nagas, I think we had very limited access, as I've said, like 2G, hardly by the
Yes.
So people were not so much aware because of the lack of internet. If it was like today, I think people must have watched my live performance as well, but it's okay. Times have changed.
But I think the print media was there.
The print was always supportive.
Yeah.
Nagaland Post, thank you so much. Morong, Express, Eastern Mirror, Thierry Miem, Almelen, and Nagaland Page. Yeah. So they all covered exclusively, but not like today we have the social media. You can instantly post the picture and then people can see it. So my time was quite different. It was just Facebook, and people. I have to give a big shout out to my sponsors, especially our government of Nagaland also.
Wow.
Because
Thanks to them.
they help a lot to support, like to just let me know that they are behind my back.
Wow.
And also the sponsors like Apna Hotel. I mean, my godmother, I call her mom because she was the lady behind my my back, always supporting and cheering for me. And she always stood beside me. And she also encouraged me to have a grooming school. So since 2012, she, encouraged me to do so. So, that is how I earned pocket money, and also going to India, representing India.
Wow.
It was like a big...
Come a long way. Yeah.
It was a big thing. So yeah.
I mean, I'm sure your story will inspire a lot of people. Like you did not have anything, but you still did not give up your dreams. And you went ahead. And I want to challenge all the young people. Stop complaining. People write to me, "Oh, I don't have money. I want to be a singer." When I started, I had nothing. So, I mean, speaking of challenges, I would love to hear about your struggles also, if you have any struggles. I'm sure you went through.
I always tell people, especially young people, if I can succeed, or if I have reached where I am, then anybody can do it, Because when I really started my career seriously, I don't want to use the word old, but I was older than the others, I was a divorcee, so that stigma was so strong that time, and I had no money because I wanted to do this on my own. I didn't want to take help from my parents who were retired. I wanted to do this on my own, and I had 2 sewing machines, all the foot, one overlocker and one normal machine, and one tailor. But we started the shop first, and I don't usually tell people about this because I never got it. I don't know.
Please, would love to. Yeah.
But the first stock Windfall, you want to know how much we spent? I spent 23,000 rupees.
Wow.
That was, with that, I went to Kolkata, bought that stuff. That was like 8 years ago. And brought it, and that was how we started, or that was how I started. And so, there were 2 times really. I thought, when it was off season, people didn't know me, and I was, just starting off, almost zero. And I thought, I wanted to give up. Once I remember, the thought came to my head, but it went off. I didn't dwell on it. The second time it came, and I thought, should I give up? It's too much of a struggle to pay my rent, to pay salaries. And I thought, if I quit, what would I do? Then I would have to do the same thing again. Because for me, it's like, this is the only thing that I know how to do best. Yeah. So I would start again from zero. So I said, I can't quit. And that was how I am where I am today. Not that I have reached where I want to be, but I do tell people, if I can make it, anyone can. Yeah.
So beautiful. Wow, I almost cried. But I remember the Windfall,
Yeah. So just to add, my dad, 3 years watching me struggle, no savings, everything, because everything we got, we would put back. Everywhere we would buy a bench, a chair, a desk, an inverter. So one time we were having dinner and my dad said, Bambi, you have been working so hard for all these years. There's nothing to show. You don't even have savings, Are you really doing it right? So I said, Dad, I started with zero. And now I have the little that I have now. Yeah. So you can't say that, I have not been able. Yeah. So I think that's one time in my life that I managed, my dad was quiet, Of course, I'm sure he was happy, but, So if I can make it, anyone can.
Wow.
Anyone.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Whew. And this is the reason why we do this show. We want to share stories, and inspire people and motivate them and tell them that if they can do it, if we can do it, you can also do it.
Really.
The last topic for today, we've been talking about fashion, so I just want to talk about fashion. And when I say fast fashion, it's so fast now, And when you talk about fast fashion, the waste product, and waste problems to environment, And we just, I don't even want to repeat after I wear one cloth because of maybe once I wear one show. So I keep buying. And then I'm sure with the designers also, the stocks which are not sold and all. So let's talk about that, the waste problem to environment, the fast fashion. Yeah.
I think we have to pay a huge price for polluting the environment. And textile waste is the second largest waste after oil. Ooh. So, we are sitting in a time bomb. It's ticking. We need to understand about the consequences. When we buy clothing, we have to think about how we're going to dispose it again. Be so mindful about the environment.
I never thought about that.
Because the landfill, it's, the clothes that are made are mostly polyesters and plastic. It's nylon. So it doesn't decompose like cotton or silk or the natural fibers that it's abundance in. It's a gift of the mother nature. Our humans are so irresponsible. We are so irresponsible that we are creating a catastrophe of the waste, the textile waste. And it is a time bomb that environmentalists are studying, the researchers are studying, and the high fashion. When we talk about high fashion, it is too overwhelming. And all this are, diverted to the smaller countries in South Africa or Asia as such.
Asia also,
Yeah,
third world
like
countries.
we get all the secondhand.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, if you do an investigative journalism, like you can go and talk to the secondhand they will tell you like out of 500 clothes, there were only hardly 80 or 100 pieces which were good enough to be sold to the customer. The rest to be dumped in the water waste or the landfill.
Wow.
Or can you imagine?
I'm sure they can't sell everything, no? They'll be
They can't
useless.
sell. So it's all because of high fashion.
Fast fashion.
The fast fashion.
The fast fashion.
The fast fashion. And when I say about fast fashion, like it is a pollution. It's something that we need to stop. You know, as a consumer, we need to be mindful where I'm going to decompose or where I'm going to use this after I buy. So it's okay to repeat clothing, and that will save you a lot of money. And I'm saying
judge
this.
me.
No, I'm not judging you.
I'm thinking
We
about
want to
this.
convert you.
You know what? There are people who write to me, is that your favorite half pant you've been repeating twice? I swear, I wear the same clothes in the show. They will be like, is that your favorite jacket? You've been only wearing that.
I think it's time that we need to be so mindful as a consumer. We need to be so mindful about the environment effects. So textile waste is so enormous. You can just check out in the thumb side, the waste, in Dimapur as well. You will find most of the textile waste thrown there.
This is such an eye-opener for me also. You know?
Even the
I was not aware
rivers,
of this
even the
thing.
rivers, the fresh water that we are getting. If you go deeper, like you will find junks and dirts and all the textile waste. Kaprakan, and it clogs and it is very harmful for our body. Actually, we are consuming it indirectly. So we need to be so awakened today about the textile waste because it is the world's second largest polluter. And shift to organic fabric.
Organic,
Build,
right?
yeah. Because Nagas, I feel like she will agree with me. We are such a blessed, tribes, or how should I say, like the land of gift, the people. 30 years ago, there were so much of women who weaves on the loin loom. Today, you're wearing one of it, the stole that you're putting in.
Yeah.
And when we really consider about it, actually our heritage, our culture, it's all in our textile.
Yeah,
So this
true.
is slow fashion.
Yeah,
You know,
this is slow
because
fashion.
it takes
Yeah.
time
Yes,
to make.
and it is
So the
made out
value.
of the cotton,
Yeah.
which is the nature's gift. And so we need to, now when we buy clothing, we need to be aware now, as a conscious consumer.
Wow.
We need to just buy clothes which are sustainable and organic.
So if, just to add to that, because, so if you're buying a garment that may not be fully organic also,
Okay.
but buy clothes that you would truly cherish and love,
Absolutely.
that you can even pass on to your son or your,
Never thought
that, yeah. So buy clothes that are beautiful, that are well made, that are works of art in that sense,
Absolutely.
that you would cherish.
Minimalism is
Yeah,
the
so
word,
because even for me as a designer, that's the constant battle. Because I have a son who's so concerned about the environment, so concerned, and so the question I keep asking myself is, in my profession, what can I do to make this planet a little better for my son and his generation to live in, and. Fortunately for me, I'm in a business where I create bridal dresses. So and so it's kind of slow fashion. So I tell my brides, you keep this for your children and your children's children, so that one of them would wear it again, that it would be passed down, even the veil, So that, and then also to create clothes that are beautiful, minimizing the use of, like you said, polyester or nylon, which is sometimes difficult, but to create clothes that a client would truly treasure and keep. So that's the challenge.
I am keeping this jean. This is from the first Lakme Fashion Week I worked.
Okay.
So this is 2014 Asakazang Mix collection, Changbai. And I'm keeping it because I want to repeat it and just tell as a sustainable curator. I want to tell to the people that it's okay to wear repeat clothes. It's okay. No one is going to judge you. And people these days, they are just okay with the smaller it is. Because with this, again, Corona, I mean the pandemic, I think people have relaxed themselves from shopping a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And as somebody who goes on stage, and if they judge you, let them judge you. Because I think you have an audience where you can influence, which you can influence, to a very great degree.
That's the biggest takeaway for me,
I remember your jacket, Asst's jacket.
Yeah.
So that, I'm sure it's one of your treasured,
that's my, my treasure.
So collect clothes that you treasure. Yeah.
I need to tell the price for my jacket.
So it's a treasure both ways.
So on the ending note, I don't know whether you're noticing. I'm wearing the shawl every episode now, and so this is also another way, my own way of slow fashion. Because what I realize is I keep buying a lot of clothes, to be honest. Okay, so I can't repeat it most of the time. Like this guy taught me a long time back, don't buy designs and all those, because I can't repeat that. At least plain I can repeat it.
Certainly.
After that I started buying plain most of the time, to be honest, thanks to my friend.
To be safer,
and now see, we're so rich.
We're so rich.
So I want to promote my own Naga, culture. So I was wearing Rengma last episode. I was wearing Angami, Chakasang. I want to wear.
Kudos to you.
Yeah. So I want to continue that. Also, it saves me money also to buy. At the same time, save the environment.
Save the environment.
So the other thing is, when you wear these shawls, I think that we can push our weavers also to get into that.
Yeah.
Wear shawls that are made with pure wool, pure cotton, or silk.
Silk, yes. And also the government also should stick to one day particularly specific for wearing our traditional clothing. Because through that, I think we will generate this market that we have talked earlier about. The, career, in Nagaland, we don't have the space of using models for this branding and as such, the studio. I think once the government start having this particular day for dedicating this culture and heritage day, I think there will be so many creative designers coming up. The weavers also constantly weaving. And look at Mizoram, our natural Pradesh.
Yeah.
They are so vibrant, and we need to learn, and we need to pass this on. Because 30 years back, there were so many weavers, but today it's a setback. We don't have the weavers now. And if this declines, we are going to lose a bigger part of our identity.
Yeah, true.
So
on that note, we'll end our episode here. So much to talk, but then we'll take a break here, and I'm so grateful to both of you for accepting this invitation. And personally, I've learned so much, and thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your experience, and I'm sure our audience they've learned so much. So you want to say?
Before I go, because you have been giving lots of your guests in the past gifts, but today I've brought my Liso brand.
Wow, thank you.
Because Liso is an organic brand which is made in Nagaland, and this brand is very suitable for all skin type. So this is for you.
Thank you so much. Wow, thank you.
Please use it, and you will love it.
Thank you so much. I'm really sorry I don't have anything to give you guys, but
no worries.
my prayers
Thank you
are
for
with
having us. Actually,
Thank you. I will treasure it. I will use it, and yes. And before we end, would you like to say any pledge? You want to say anything?
Yeah, I think I want to say something. When there's a video, I don't know whether you've seen Snoop Doggy Dogg. No?
Yeah.
He says, he was giving a speech, and he said, I want to thank myself. for
Myself.
the, And I watched and I thought, that's about, that's me. And I think honestly, I was because struggling so much, working so hard, suffering and all that, when I started becoming a little, I don't say successful, but a little better in my condition, I thought I did it all by myself. And I worked so hard. It was, and I could relate to what Snoop Doggy, or I forgot his name. Yeah. But then, I had this revelation change of heart, because I realized that, no, it was God.
Yeah.
It was pure partnership. I said, I did the hard work. Yes, I worked hard. But God was the one who gave me favor.
Amen.
God was the one who gave me the ideas and the creativity, And most important, God was the one, and God is still the one who gives me good health.
Amen.
So it is a partnership. And so I couldn't be here, and I wouldn't be here. I still have a long way to go, I always say, but I wouldn't be here if it were not for God and for who He is to me.
Amen.
So I want to say that. Yeah.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Yeah. Opang, would you like to say something?
So, thank you, my friend, for inviting both of us. Lastly, I would like to read a quote. This is my favorite poem from Robert Frost. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep.
Wow.
This is my favorite poem, which really motivates me. And I want to tell the younger boys and girls that a dream is a picture of possibility. So never let obstacle hinder your progress. You should just work hard, be resilient, and give your 100%.
Wow, thank you so much, both of you, for ending up with an amazing messages. And I'm sure people are blessed tonight. I'm sure people are inspired, motivated. I think among all the episodes, this is like the most, fruitful episode, according to me. Thank you so much for making it possible. Yeah. On that note, we'll end up our episode. I hope you guys are blessed, and keep believing in yourself, and always remember that God is the one who does everything. So don't ever forget Him. And we'll see you next week. Thank you. God bless.